The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday to everybody. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. We got a lot of stuff to get to this morning, guys. A lot of stuff going on in the market. We're going to get to some MMAI updates, some MMAI news, some market news. We're gonna run it down for you guys this morning. Seiko, good morning, man. Good morning, man. Glad to see you up this morning on this great Tuesday. Lot to cover today. Gonna get into some pre-market news. Gonna get into some stuff that's coming up in the market. Gonna get into some MMAI stuff. Gonna get into a lot of stuff. Good morning, Elmo. Good morning, man. Glad to see you up and at it this morning. Dr. Rob, good morning. Dr. Rob might be joining us a little later. He might be hopping on, so that's a good thing. Ken, good morning. I should say good afternoon to you. Good morning to us. Got a lot to cover today, man. It's gonna be a great day. It's Tuesday. I'm in the middle of a snowstorm, but you know what? It's all good, man. It's all good. We'll deal with it. Crypto Benny, good morning. Good morning. Glad to see you up and at it with us this morning. You can't chat, Elmo. Can't chat, but that's all right. I know you here, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you listening. Pre-markets look good today, guys. They look like they gonna open in green today. We got Powell who's speaking a little bit later today. We're gonna see how dovish or hawkish he is with his talk today and tomorrow. That'll drive a lot of what's going on in the market. Raphael, good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you're with us this morning. Good morning. Good morning in your country. Well, is it good afternoon to you, Raphael? Crypto Benny says heading into work in a minute. I'll be listening. Good to know you're listening, Crypto Benny. Good to know you're listening, man. Thank you for listening. Lena, good morning. Good morning. We just get ready to get into it. So yeah, the pre-markets look good, guys. Powell speaking. So I think the market's thinking that he's gonna come out, be a little dovish on the market on what's going on. I don't think so. I think we're gonna see the CPI numbers come in March 14th. They're gonna come in hot, man. If it's anything like we seen last month, from the other data, CPI data will come in hot. It's not gonna be the best situation. But pre-markets do look good in the stock market, so that's setting up for at least a decent day in the stock market to start. But we'll see how it ends. We'll see what happens when Powell starts to speak. But really, everybody's just kind of holding on and trading sideways in both the cryptocurrency market and the stock market until the 14th. Really, until the CPI data comes out. We're gonna see if it comes in hot. if it comes in hot, expect a 50 basis point rate increase. There's no way around that. It's going to happen. Probably, as my estimation is, it'll happen because they're not going to have a choice because inflation's not coming down at the rate that they would want. So they're going to have to inject more pain into the market to get that down. Daniel, thanks for doing morning streams. Having Austin in Korea. Yeah, it's weird, man. In crypto Benny, it's my pleasure, man. I love doing early mornings. It gets me up, gets me moving, gets me into the market early. But yeah, having Austin, over there, and not having that really 1 p.m. stream for me, it's a little weird, but it's all good. We fill our time with other stuff, but yeah, no, my pleasure, man. I like getting up with you guys early in the morning and talking about this pre-market stuff. And I mean, I do this every morning anyways. So, why not just bring it out? Why not just bring it out to everybody, right? Like this is what I go through every morning anyways. XXI, good morning, brother. Hope you're good, man. It's going to be a great Tuesday. It really is. But yeah, we got Powell speaking today. Stock market looks green. Stock market looks good. We'll see what happens after he gives his talk and what happens. Usually as soon as he starts to go to the podium, the market starts to tank. But, we'll see what happens today with him. I'm telling you guys, be prepared for March, man. This market, this both the stock market and the cryptocurrency market will see some pain in March. I'm telling you, it will. Everything's setting up for it. And part of trading is knowing what's coming your way or trying to estimate what's coming your way. So, the market's going to see some pain in March. The fear and greed index, I like to remind everybody, this is a lagging indicator, falls behind about 48 to 24 to 48 hours. It's still sitting in neutral. It's right where it should be. It's been in neutral for a while. Whole market's trading sideways, so neutral makes sense. Getting over here to this cryptocurrency market. You guys, we got is the Army guy in the house? Yeah. So we are gonna get into some of this market news. We'll get into some MMAI news in a minute, in a little while here. Army guy, the Daniel morning show. Thanks, brother. Yeah, we here every morning, man. Just talking about in the morning, trying to get everybody's morning out, started out right, positive way. So good morning to you, man. Good morning. Oh yeah, 12K Bitcoin. You've been saying that XXI and the market's going to drop in March, guys. So it's going to happen. There's just too much. There's too much going around. There's too much going around in the market for it to stay where it is. I think March 14th is a big day. You guys should circle that day on your calendar. That's the day the CPI data comes out. And I'm telling you right now, if it comes in hot, the Fed's not going to have a choice but to raise 50 basis points. And if that happens, you're going to see both of these markets tank, the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. And the next big day is the FOMC meetings themselves at the end of the month. And that's when we'll know exactly what that rate increase is going to be. And but I'm telling you, prepare yourself, because if they're going off the February numbers, if the February numbers are any indication of what's coming, the CPI data is going to come in hot, because the February numbers look absolutely terrible. Finally not at work. Oh, you got the day off, or you just running a little late? I'm always late, but not hey, better late than never, right? 21. So if this if this data comes in hot, which I'm expecting the CPI data to come in hot, because a lot of it, February numbers will give you an idea of kind of where we are. And they were hot as hell. They came in, they look terrible. But so expect that CPI data not to look great either. So at that point, that means that the interest rate hikes are not doing what they need them to do. So they need to inject more pain into the market in order to try to bring this inflation down. Because remember, the federal government's only got two tools in their toolbox. They can either raise interest rates and inflict pain into the market, or they can print money and blow the interest rate even higher, but make people not feel it, right? So obviously we printed a lot of money during COVID, is why we're in the situation that we're in. And the whole country shut down, the whole world shut down. So every country was printing money like crazy, injecting money into the economy, which I call fake money, because eventually that money has to come out. And now we're kind of reaping the benefit. Well, not reaping the benefits. There's no benefit here, but we're paying for what we did. So now the interest rates have to go up to try to get some of this liquidity out of the system that they injected into the system. So that's what's going on right now. So we have to, you got to know that, and you got to know where these numbers are going to go. So, and right now the CPI data on the 14th doesn't look like it's going to come in good. The market's priced in 25 basis point increase. If we get a 50-point base increase, that's why I'm saying the markets are going to go down. It's not priced into the market. I wish days off. Me too, Army guy. I got no days off either, man. I'm always either working, traveling, doing something. So, I don't feel like I have a day off. Hey, what's going on, Crypto Talk Now? You got to tell me. Is it Larry or is it Max? You guys be killing me with that. So, half the time I think that's Larry. Gotta be Larry. Man, I hear you. I hear you, bro. MMAI. We're gonna get into some MMAI. We're gonna get into some talks about what's going on. Some things, we had that discussion yesterday. I got a lot of DMs about, can you break this down in terms that everybody can understand. We're gonna break that down in terms that everybody can get it. I'm gonna try to what's going on, Larry, man? Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Larry's a good dude. Tune in to Crypto Talk Now every night at 9. There's a roundtable Wednesday night with me and Waddy, and Larry and Max and the Crypto Smith, Sean. We're all on there chopping it up about anything and everything. So just tune in. You'll have a great time. Nobody knows Larry. We all know Larry. But so I got to tell you, the market right now, we'll get into some of this price action. Bitcoin sitting right now 22,300. Looks like it's hanging in there. It's been trading sideways. I mean, we've looked at this every day, and it's just straight sideways action. And I believe since the dump, I believe that everybody's just kind of waiting for the 14th, right? Everybody's just kind of waiting to see where the CPI data comes in. So everybody's just kind of hanging on. And that's really what's going on in both of these markets, right? The crypto market and the stock market is everybody's just kind of holding on and waiting. Nobody's making any really big moves, but you've seen this big sell-off here, right? And I believe a lot of the sell-off was the Silvergate sell-off, right? And then you see the straight sideways action. There's a little fluctuation. You can split hairs and say, you got a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, make the market pump here and there, but really it's sideways, right? And let's be honest with each other. It's straight sideways. On the 14th, you're going to see this thing either go to the upside based on the CPI data or go to the downside based to the CPI data. So right now, everybody's just kind of accumulating or selling depending on where they think that CPI data is going to come in. And I'm telling you, if the CPI data comes in high, you're going to take this thing right here from about a 22.3 price at least down to 19,000. If that data comes in high and that data comes in higher than what's expected, you're going to see a $19,000 Bitcoin on that day. You know, right now the market's leaking. Like we talk about, it's kind of leaking out a little bit, and it leaks out slow. It has been leaking out slow for a couple days. We're at 1 trillion, about 19 billion. So you lost about $3 billion on a 24-hour, right? So you got 3 billion since we talked yesterday, which is about 24 hours ago, about $3 to $4 billion left to market. And that's been pretty much the standard every day, right around this time, is that you're losing between 3 to 5 billion a day. But if that CPI data comes high, you're going to see this thing move. You're going to see the downside be big. You better bring your A game on Wednesday. Larry, I wake up with my A game on. So what's good? What's good, Max? I think that Larry, Max without CTN would have known. Right? I got you, XXI. Yeah, I think you're right, but you know, ETH is hanging in there too. I mean, if you look at the ETH chart on a 7-day since the dump, you'll see the same thing. You know, it's trading straight sideways. That's sideways action right there. You know, but again, everybody's just sitting on the sidelines. Everybody's just kind of waiting. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. So, you know, we're gonna be all right. I think, but prepare yourself for a pullback. Prepare yourself for a down March. March is not going to be a good month. Larry can't. Larry can't. Larry can't type. Larry can't type this morning. I can't type any morning. No way. In hell. You know this. Out loud. Hey, XXI. So you guys, you know, this is why we talk about on here so much that we got to have money on the sidelines to buy these dips, right? So the market's going to dip. We know it's probably going to dip in March. This is why I keep telling you guys cash is a position, right? Cash is always a position. People always say, well, what's your position in this particular token, or what's your position in this particular thing? You know, cash is a position as well. And I keep reminding you guys because I kind of I had a feeling that this thing was going to line up this way. That you can't buy these clearance sales when they happen if you don't have money on the sideline to do it. So you got to have a cash position. If you're locked into the market 100% and you don't have any cash sitting on the sideline, when the market dips, you're stuck. You can't do anything. You can't take advantage of the situation. In every trading situation, there's always a positive and always a negative to everything. And you have to take your positives and really cash in on them and really understand that you know, with every dip there's a positive. You can make a positive out of that, right? You could either DCA into your bags. You can open up new positions that you didn't once have, and you were waiting to get into. You can always do these things, but if you don't have cash sitting on the sideline, you can't do that. So you have to have a cash position. Like I tell you guys, like I'm 60-40 right now. I'm 60% out of the market, 40% in the market, right? And that'll flip as these markets start to change. It may go to a 50-50 position. It may flip to a 60-40 position, 60% in, 40% cash, right? Depending on where we're at in these markets, right? So you have the ability to do that when you have cash sitting on the sidelines, which is why I tell you guys never to go all in. Don't go all in on anything. Whether the weather be cold. I'm in the middle of a snowstorm right now, so I mean I woke up this morning to all kinds of snow. Poof, poof. That is max. Yes, that is max. I believe that's max. I don't know. I think this is max. But yeah, so when you look at these things, you gotta have cash position, guys. You have to have these positions to take advantage of the situations, right? You look at this red market and people will go, oh my God, it's red, I'm losing money. And I look at it as how can I take advantage? How can I take advantage of this particular situation, right? How can I capitalize on this market, right? Well, you can't capitalize in it if all of my money is tied up in the market. Like I have nowhere to go. I'm landlocked at that point. So when we look at, like, let's say Bitcoin, let's take Bitcoin for an example. If it gets down to 19,300, 19,400, or wherever it's going to go, if I'm a Bitcoin investor and I'm landlocked in Bitcoin and the rest of my tokens, I can't take advantage of that dip. I can't buy that dip. So, and you can roll that out into any token, coin, stock that you're invested in. Like Polygon's another prime example. Polygon's was running at like $1.50 forever. And people were buying at $1.50, right? They were opening up positions at $1.50. Now it's down to $1.14. If they went all in at $1.50, where are they going at $1.14? They can't bring their costs down to match the current price or be close to it. So, face blue. So, we got to do this, guys. We got to be smarter with how we invest, right? We got to do this, guys. So, tell me my face is blue. Face blue, smiling video. So, these markets don't look good. This is the daily. We'll move to the hourly. It gets a little bit better current day, but not a ton better, guys. So, this is what the American markets are waking up for right now. This is what they're doing. Looks like they're a little bit more bullish on crypto than the overseas markets were, but at the end of the day, it still doesn't look great, and our market cap for crypto continues to leak. Right, we continue to leak out of this market cap, and this market cap right here is more important than what you have going on in your particular token, right? Because the further and further that this market cap leaks down, and you can see it continually leak down, the further and further that this thing leaks down, the more and more it's going to affect your cryptocurrency investment. There's no way for it not to get there. There's no way for it not to affect your investment. You see this thing, it just continually trades sideways, and then boom, it goes straight down. There's no way that this is not going to roll into your investment. So the first thing you guys should look at in the morning is this market cap and see where that's going. That's going to let you know. That's going to let you know what you can expect the rest of the way down here. Basically all day. So if you're looking at this market cap right now and it's sitting at 1,020,000,000,000, and then all of a sudden it goes down to 1 trillion, 10 billion, you're going to expect Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB to tank, and then all your altcoins to follow, and then all your lower market cap tokens to follow that. That's just how it works. So sometimes you can get ahead of a loss by just looking at the market cap because it hasn't hit your token yet. So later, Max, man. Have a great day, man. I can't wait to see you on tomorrow, Wednesday. I hope I see you on Wednesday, man. I've been thinking about you. Daniel may not. I can't wait. I can't wait for your space tonight. It's gonna be a good space tonight. We're gonna break some stuff down. We're gonna talk about liquidity. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff that came up, a lot of stuff that people are asking about. We're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna get it in. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do all that. So, we're gonna talk about it a little bit on here too. But we're gonna really break it down. I got some DMs yesterday. Some people were asking me to break some of this MMAI stuff down in a way that really wasn't so technical and made some sense for some people. And we're gonna break it down and we're gonna talk about how we can take advantage of the situation, right? And that's what I fully intend to do. Is take advantage of the situation. How does it benefit the holders? And how can the holders make some money? And we that's what we're gonna do. Look who we got in the spot. We got Dr.
What is going on?
No, what's going on, man? How was your morning?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I was on the chat this morning with MMAI and I see folks talking. I read the whole chat from last night. I saw somebody sold 25 ETH.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to jump on a stream, but there's no need to because you have one this evening. But I figure between now and this evening, we need to help folks understand what's going on. So I say, hey, let me jump on here with you after you get through all the general stuff so we can chat about MMAI real quick.
Yeah, we were just about to get into it. I was kind of holding off and waiting for you.
I seen. I was gonna come sooner. I say no. Let me let them talk and get all the general stuff out the way first.
I see somebody sold 25 ETH last night, which is cool.
Yeah.
I ain't mad about it.
Oh no, it's all cool, and we understand. Not everybody's gonna see everything, and not everybody gonna take the ride with us. We understand that, right? And even the person that sold, they may see something later on and buy back in. I don't know if it's their whole bag or if they have multiple bags and they sold some. Every decision the project makes is gonna ruffle feathers different, right? So we can't expect everybody to ride with us to that promised land. If we're drinking that Kool-Aid, which is what they might think, if we don't see a negative and stuff, and they're not gonna drink the Kool-Aid with us, and then they may chase it later on. Either way, whatever happens, it's fine with us, right?
Yeah, it's fine with me because like I said, we're gonna break it down, and I was telling these guys, early last night, my DMs were full of, and people are just asking us to break it down in a way that makes sense. So, tonight and the Twitter space, we'll really get down into it and put it in simple terms where it makes sense of how you can take advantage of this situation, right? And we'll really dive into that because I understand that not a lot of people understand liquidity, right? And how this works and how it affects the price or in a positive or negative way and how they can take advantage of it. So, a lot of people were asking me last night, and, we'll get into it a little bit this morning, but, we can really dive into it tonight and we can really, talk to everybody about, what's going on. And I see this as a great opportunity, right? Am I a little taken back by the fact that, we don't have a 60% liquidity ratio anymore? Yeah, but you know what? I look at this as a great opportunity as well. So
yeah, I agree with you, and I got a little take on this. The thing is, to me, it was a shock because we're on a stream celebrating 6 months, and I'm talking about the strength of the liquidity. Team don't have any tokens and all that. And then we go on awesome stream, and then he said, "Hey, well, look at the chart." And I said, "Whoa!" So it changes my narrative. I can't say that stuff anymore, and it kind of takes you back. But then you have to think of the project itself. MMAI has so many utilities coming out, and I try not to be selfish. I try to think of other people. So that's why one person's opinion, one person's thought is not always enough or the best, right? But as a long term investor in this project that believes this is where I'm going to be a millionaire, this is where I'm going to make money, I see so many more positives in this than negatives. I don't like the way it was done. I'm going to support some folks in the chat, like Bruce
Yeah.
C said something, DBS said something. I don't like the way it was done because we've been a community, we're there. We should have been told something like let me take it down a little bit before you actually do it. Like, let us know. And I've been telling folks this with the NFT sale, right? The NFT sale was for $3.5 million. If we sold everything, they would have gotten the money they needed to do stuff where this wouldn't happen. It's not that they don't have the money, but why should they keep pulling out of pocket if the money's there? And then another thing I like is the fact that they spoke to some experts who basically told them, "What are you? Are you crazy? Why do you all have so much money in liquidity? You look like a stable coin. I can't help your project if your chart is not going to move." And look what's happening now, right? We're at 303112. I woke up this morning, saw 25 ETH still, and saw us at 3030.
Yep.
And selfishly, I celebrated that because I really want to see us at 302025 so I can buy as much as possible. Some people don't want to hear that. They only want to see the pump. But this is the way we're going to get that pump.
I woke up this morning, I seen it at 3030 something. I can't remember, but I was like, I didn't blink at it. In XXA, I see your comment about what RJ said. I heard what he said, and we're going to address it because I don't think that it's completely accurate, and I'll explain to you why. Right? I think he has great points, but I don't think the math is completely accurate. And we'll get into it. But I woke up this morning.
Who's Almo asking if he bought? If it's me, no, I didn't buy it. I'm not buying yet. I'm gonna buy at the dip. This ain't the dip. This is them mixing the dip. I'm waiting for the real dip because now with our liquidity the way it is, any little sell moves it down, any little buy moves it up. Like we're already back at 3112. But if ETH dropped any lower, if more people decided to sell, it's gonna dip. So I really wanna, and I need this. Remember, I lost over 80 million tokens, right? I need this to recover a lot of that, and I'm gonna get a nice entry. But at the same time, we will 10x so easily now. People can make so much money in this project so much faster
now. Me and you had this conversation, right? And I said, here comes the 10x incoming, right? Mm-hmm. Because what happened is our liquidity was so strong, we weren't moving the chart. There wasn't buys big enough and there wasn't sells big enough to move the chart, right?
Yep.
So now with the decrease in liquidity, you're going to see a lot more volatility in the chart, which is actually a good thing. It's a good thing because like we said, when I woke up this morning, this was 3030. Mm-hmm. Now it's 3031. And when you look at the price action on exactly why it's 3031, they're very, very small buys, right?
Yep.
The biggest one in there is a ETH, right? But it moves the chart so far up because your small buys and your small sells will move the chart. But I want to address some of this liquidity stuff. I think XXI, I think you're right. RJ asked some good questions last night in the TG, but I think if you got to do the math, right? With our liquidity sitting at 775, right? You literally could take the top wallets they could sell off and not drain our liquidity, right? And that's a good thing. So the math works out that way. Will they get slipped going down? Of course they'll get slipped going down. And that's with any other project as well. If you sell in large amounts, you're going to get slipped going down. I don't care who you are. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in every project. It should happen in every project. That's why there's slippage, right? You're going to get slipped going down. But you look at this this wallet that sold 25 ETH, right? This person right here is not an experienced trader.
Yeah.
Because you don't just take 25 ETH and dump it on a chart and not expect to have price impact or to have slippage going down. It's just the way DeFi works, right? So if this person was smart, a smart trader, they would have taken 2 or 3 ETH, they would have sold it. They would have allowed the chart to rebound. They would have taken 2 or 3 more.
They would have made way more money. Yeah.
And yeah, they would have made way more money. But because they dumped their 25 ETH onto the chart, they had slippage all the way down.
And that was for about $40,000 roughly. They ended up probably getting 30,000, if not less.
So if you got all that into a project and you decide to dump it, you have to know the ramifications of dumping it. Me personally, I wouldn't have did this. I would have took this 25 ETH, I'd have transferred it over to Bitmark for 0 transfer tax, and I would have dumped 25 ETH on Bitmark.
Yep.
And you would have never seen it on the chart. So this isn't somebody who knows what they're doing or wants to take care of the project. So the fact that they got slipped on the way down, I'm not really mad at them for that. But so what do you think about this whole liquidity thing, Dr. Crypto? Because here's how it works, how I understand it to work. When you have a liquidity pair, you have your ETH liquidity, and that's matched up with MMAI. Call it wrapped, call it unwrapped. We won't get into the technicalities, right? But the two are paired together. So what MMAI did is they pulled $2 million out of liquidity somewhere in there. Call it 2 million, call it even, right? So it was 1 million of ETH and 1 million of MMAI, right? So because they took the 1 million of ETH out, they had to take the 1 million of MMAI. They didn't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
So the 1 million of MMAI is sitting in the deployer wallet. The only way that that's going to hurt the chart is if they sell the 1 million of MMAI.
Yeah.
The fact that they just sold the 1 million of ETH has 0 effect on the chart.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to know what MMAI's intentions are, they just need to go look at the deployer wallet and make sure that they're not selling off. That's it.
Yep.
It literally is that simple, right? But so that's how that works.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the move, Daniel. The thing is, I think for some people you can't satisfy everybody, right? But for some people, they want you to give them some heads up. And I think as a community, we wanted to hear that logic, not afterwards, but beforehand. Even if it was, I know they were in talks right before they did it, and this thing is happening today in regards to with NS Labs, right? But I think if we heard this 3-4 hours before, the VC was open, Twitter Space, Austin on YouTube, to make sure enough people that are plugged into the community heard it, they'd be able to digest it better. Would that change this person selling the 25 ETH? Probably not, because a lot of folks don't understand what goes into building a project like this, right? We know a lot of money, a lot of meetings, and when you're dealing with NS Labs, that's not going to come cheap, and we're celebrating the wins of being a 6-month project, having the game coming out soon, having the wallet to its best state, having the metaverse where it's going to be real fast. That's going to come at a cost. And with that cost, I'm willing now. If I feel iffy about MMAI in any which way, everybody gonna know that, you know. But right now, I'm more celebrating the reduction of the liquidity because I actually would love to see 10x and 100x. That's what we're here for. We're here to make money. We're not here to hold a solid chart and everybody else is making money and moving on, and we're sitting still. Just even while utilities now was going to move us. Can you imagine the 49.95 buys for the Pure wallet? What's that going to do to our chart?
Yeah, if you see 1,000, if everybody buys in at $50, you're gonna see $1,050 buys on the chart. In XXI, I feel you. I feel you. Let me kind of double back on what Dr. Rob said, because I feel the same way. I don't like how it was done. Right. I'll be honest with you. I don't. I think we could have did a better job with that. Right. But getting past that, I think when you look at it for what it is, I think there's a lot of advantages there. And I think you're going to 10x, 100x a lot quicker. I understand what was being said in the VC last night about the FUD, right? I get it. It's coming. We're not going to run from it. It's coming. You know, we all sat up here, and I was one of them, right? We all sat up here and we got on other projects, right, for their liquidity. And we got on other projects for, you know, things like that. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be people that jump on this move, and they're going to FUD the hell out of MMAI. It's going to happen. But there's a difference. And here's where the investors have to understand it. And I'm not making excuses either. There's a difference between selling the ETH out of the liquidity pool and selling your native token. The native token will dump the charts. Selling the ETH out of the liquidity pool won't.
It didn't touch it at all. It didn't even budge. Yeah.
So, yes, people are going to FUD it. They're going to jump all over it. It's going to happen. But it's all right. If you know what you got and you know where you're going, you don't worry about it. And what's crazy about this is the one thing that everybody wanted was volume, right? They wanted volume. They wanted the chart to move. They wanted volume. They kept saying market, 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 market to get us more volume, right? Mm-hmm. We probably had the most volume in MMAI last night that we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we have 55,000 volume in Uniswap alone. Yeah.
Yeah. So it never really was about the marketing. It never really was about the buys and stuff. It really was strictly about the liquidity and people not seeing the chart move. So they weren't putting money in and taking money out because it didn't have price impact. Yeah. But now it does. So now you're going to see a lot more value. But, you know, people will FUD. People are going to come. Twitter's going to get nasty, guys, but it's okay.
But you know what, Daniel, not necessarily. You know why? Because some folks are starting to wake up and realize they got so much crap in their backyard. MMAI doesn't give you any reason to say anything about it. You can talk about the chart. Like I said, I'm praying for a 3020, 3025 price range so I can accumulate, not because, oh, I want this project to tank and for all these suckers to get hurt. No, because I'm a smart investor that understands when you have real utility, the more you're holding, the better. And like I said, since I lost two bags, I need to replace it. But why not replace it at 2,500 for 10 million tokens versus 3,500 for 10 million tokens, right? So I'm celebrating this. Now, having said that, I see what XSI is saying, and I do need to talk for those folks also, right? And those folks who are going to get scared or whatever. Now, I missed the VC. I got on probably, almost an hour after they started or 30 minutes plus after they started. So I didn't even know what was going on. So I didn't hear RJ. When I got in there, I only heard who was at the mic. I heard Cool Chris and Beyond. So I didn't hear anybody before that. But and we have to understand everybody not going to see things the same way, right? And having said that, I just love the move that now we're gonna have more eyes on us because we're gonna fluctuate in price. So, even folks like you, Daniel, or like me,
Yeah.
if we want to do that day trade bag, the only thing that would hurt me on a day trade bag is the sell tax. Besides that, this is a nice way to make a quick 500 here, 500 there, buying in and selling here and there. And that volume is good for the project to get you to exchange it. One, Crypto Lounge was talking about Paul Swap yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Why do they have that? Volatility in the chart that causes people to jump in, jump out because they can do that. So those things will make that difference also, right?
Yeah, it will. It'll allow and what you'll see is more and more volume coming because of that. And because you have a chance to make a couple ETH sell and make your chart move, and then people will FOMO into that. They'll buy on top of that, and we still have a 25% liquidity to market cap ratio. Is it 60%? No, it's still 25%. I was just looking at a couple other projects that I was invested in this morning, and the liquidity to ratio is like 5.5% on a pretty big project. And so we're still good. I see a positive price movement on this. I really do. Due to the more volatility on the chart, I really do. And XXI, I think you're right. RJ and Cool and Chris had very valid questions yesterday. They really did. And I'm glad that they came up and asked them. I think that they were valid. But again, it's one thing to have a question. It's another thing to do the math. And when you do the math, even if the top wallets sell, it doesn't hurt the liquidity pool. There's enough there for people to cash out if you want to. And I think that's just a myth that we have to dispel because it's not true. You got to go in and do the math. But I think that they were great questions because I think a lot of people were wondering the same thing.
Well, Daniel, one thing, brother. Folks will say, well, what if the top X people sell? Oh, that will hurt the chart. But when you say what if, you have to also think those top people put in top money because they may know what they're doing in crypto. Why would they sell? Are they really gonna sell like you and me? Are we gonna sell off of this or are we buying? Is Almo gonna sell off of this or is he buying? So
Right.
I don't, that's a narrative that just scares people for nothing to say, well, if the top 10 or 20 people decide to sell, they're not going to do that. If they do that, well, there you go. Others in there will see it as an opportunity and buy it right back. And it's all going to be organic. It's not going to be the dev team buying it. It's us that believes in something like this. Like I'm saying, I wish a few of them would sell because I really need to replace some bags.
Yeah, but and I understand that. I mean, I'm staying too. I'm not going anywhere. I think actually I'm gonna take advantage of this situation, right? Look at 303174 right now. 3031 was launch price, right? So if we go back down to
No, 3035 was launched. 3031 was pre-sale.
3031 was pre-sale. So if we go back down to 30329 even, I'm going to open up a new bag.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy there because I'm buying below launch price, knowing that if somebody just comes in and drops 3 ETH, that bag that I just bought at 3029 is going to go way up. And that's going to be a short-term bag for me. And
yep. You can flip it, buy it again, flip it, buy it again. And even if it's $500 or $1,000 you're swinging each time, that's money you can do something else with while you wait for your real bags to do what they're going to do. Now, I see Swipe and Learn put a comment here that I'd like to address. And the thing is, when we say do your own research, it's really a full circle. It's not just like little things here and there. Swipe and Learn, you're right about you saying the math is not adding up. These guys working for months, day in and day out, and all you hear is beta, beta, beta. The way for me to answer that is to remind you, remember, we're only 6 months old. And what project could actually even give you a beta? And the fact that they gave us beta, that's the reason so many of us added even more money into this project. Why? Because we're able to see what's coming versus if we saw nothing, they started September 6th. If we saw nothing until September 6th, 2023, a lot of us would have had less money in this project because we wouldn't have seen anything to give us a reason to believe and put more. Seeing the beta of the Pure Wallet, the beta of this game, the beta of the metaverse tells us, oh crap, the quality of stuff they're putting out, NS Labs, this is legit. And that's why we put more. So I actually rather the beta than seeing nothing at all and then they deliver something a year after they come out and it's shoddy, it's not all that. And then we say, man, I stayed and waited all this time for nothing. This is what they got. I'm out of here. This ain't it. Versus
Yeah,
what we're seeing, right?
yeah. How many projects have you been invested in where they don't give you a beta, they give you screenshots of things that aren't even accurate of what they're going to put out, and then you get the final product and it's a block game or something that doesn't even look like what they put out, and it's crap.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still putting money into that project.
Or
And
nothing at all. How about
yeah,
Shiba? You know how much money I made on Shiba of nothing at all?
yeah, XXI, I see your comments, man. And you're right. What we do with Sheba and Volt and everybody delivering in 9 months is peanuts compared to what MMAI has out in the beta.
Yeah.
It really is. Sheba still has zero utility. There's no utility with Shiba. To this day, it has zero utility. So, understand that. You know what I mean? So we gotta put this stuff in perspective, right? When we're talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
hope for the
Compare
best.
apples to apples. Exactly.
Yeah, swipe and learn. I'm glad you hope for the best for us. I mean, it's one of these projects that if you're in it, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. You know the outcome. You know the long-term vision. You know what they're producing. If you're not in it every day and you're not grinding and you're not in the VCs and you don't know what's going on, then it may look a little different to you, and that's okay.
The swipe and learn going hard today. The swipe and learn says beta is nothing more than to keep you from asking real questions because the response from the devs, well, we have you a beta. Okay, I agree with you. And you know what? We all can say things based on our past experiences. So we're not going to discount anything you say, swipe and
No,
learn. We're not going to look at like ulterior motives or nothing like that. I agree with you. It's just that being 6 months old, I'm gonna give MMAI some time. I don't know if you have a Android, if you've been able to download the wallet and check it out. Yeah, it's beta because when you have a beta of something, you're telling folks, hey, play around with this while we improve it and make it better, and until we make it 100%. So in the meantime, play around with this. Right now,
yeah,
you actually can use the Pure Wallet. You can send ETH in there. You could send ETH somewhere else. You could buy MMAI. You can do all that. So wait, I'd say give it some time because we're 6 months old. Give us the next 2 months and let's have that conversation, whether on Twitter, on here, whatever. But we can't pull everybody into every project, and we can't just Kool-Aid it. So I like when people come to chat and have a difference of opinion because it shows it's not all just kumbaya, fake talk. It's just real talk going on. So I like that. Thank you,
yeah.
Swipe.
And I like what you're saying too, Swipe and Learn, because a lot of projects in this space have done that. They give you a beta and they tell you good luck. Don't ask me don't ask me any questions. This is what we're giving you, and you should be happy with it, right? I just don't get that vibe, and it's one thing where you're in a community and you either get that vibe or you don't. And I can understand where people have been burned so much that you know that it may look that way to them, but I just don't get that vibe. I think that there's way too many positive things that are going on that doesn't give you that vibe. But I get it. I get how many people have been burnt. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And because of that, we understand. But and at the same time, being in DeFi, we're not gonna take the MMAI devs and put them on a pedestal and say, oh, these are gods and whatever. What we're gonna go back to and lean on is what they've done so far. That $1 million they put into the project. They've been in South Korea for the past 17 weeks plus working on these utilities, sleeping in dorm rooms, right?
Right.
They actually have real utilities that's on up and coming. That Pure Wallet, you once that Pure Wallet comes out, nothing can actually compare to that wallet, right? And if you see what Trust Wallet is doing, if we can get the Pure Wallet 100% functioning, can you imagine what that will do in the space when people realize the extra features of that wallet compared to a Trust Wallet or a SafePal or anything else, right? That metaverse, those properties we own, that residual income, that's real money. And I'm willing to give them a time to do what they do to make me money. I can make quick money. If I want to make quick money, I'll go buy some of the ones with these hypes in there and flip it real quick. But if I want to make long-term money and drop a few zeros and now faster with this lower liquidity, I'm gonna give them some time to do that.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, there's some things that I want to see happen in the project too. Like, I want to see this Pure Wallet out. It's got to happen, right? Because I'm not a hype guy, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and hype everything up and make it look like it's sunshine and roses, and we're gonna put these pretty bows on it. There's no doubt we have to get this Pure Wallet out, but it's got to be right. And that's the most important piece. Is it's got to be right. The game's got to come out in beta. We have to do that. We have to get the NFT drops out, so that people can see what they bought. So there's a couple things that are in the works that we have to accomplish, right?
Yep.
So
you got it right, Daniel. We have to do it. We have to, because now people are like, show me. Okay, enough talk. Show me. We have to do
it. Yeah. And I don't shy away from that, or I don't hide from that. And when we're talking to people, like, if I have conversations with Austin or somebody like that, like this I'm telling him the same thing I'm telling you. You know what I mean? So, we
Austin is telling me that too, Daniel. Austin is talking to me like, yo, I told them, drop everything. I want this wallet out ASAP. And remember, that's the main reason he went to Korea, was for this wallet. So he understands that we're at the point where they need to deliver something to us for us to rebuild our confidence, to boost our confidence, to give us more to talk about. He understands that. And that's why it's good to have somebody like Awesome as part of the team versus just devs relaying stuff to us. He's one of us on that side. And I like that because he bought in too. He has money in this project.
Right. So, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's all sunshine and roses. And we have great conversations that go all good. Like, we have stuff that we need to put out, and we have to put it out. Like me and Dr. Robert saying, like, this stuff has to come out. It's got to be done. And the team's working hard to get it done. I know that, so I'm good with that.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we have to deliver as well.
Yeah, we definitely do. Hey, I'm gonna be on the road, so I will not see the chat. So, but I'm still here. I just won't be able to see the chat because I was looking at my computer while I'm on the chat, while I'm on the stream from my phone. Yeah.
No, in Swipe and Learn, I appreciate your questions, man. I appreciate your take on it, because like I said, we get in these things, and I want to talk about it. Like, I want to talk about this. Like, I can't wait for our Twitter space tonight, because I want to have a conversation with you guys, like, with a voice conversation with you guys, because I want to talk about this stuff, because I think it's so important. I'll be getting a hella updates on my on my console. Yeah. So, I think, guys, take advantage of the situation though. Like, we know that now there's going to be volatility in the chart, right? A little bit more than what there was, a lot more than what there was. Take advantage of this situation. Treat it like you would treat another project. Buy low, open up new bags, open up new positions. You know what I'm saying? And start maneuvering these charts to your advantage. You know, before we were trading sideways like a stable coin because our liquidity was so strong. And that was cool and it was safe for a lot of people. But now the game's changed, right? So let's adapt to how the game has changed. So start opening up new positions, getting new bags, buying in. Your sell point should be a little bit quicker now, right? On certain bags. So, you know, don't sit there and wait for your one single bag to do what you needed to do. You know, this project now has the ability with a couple big sales really to take off. So don't be sitting there without a short-term bag to cash in on that. You know, change your game, change how you're trading. Now that the game's changed, change your game as well. Yo, Swipe got a good question. Got a good question to
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just reading this question. Yeah, Swipe, please join the space, man.
Okay, cool.
Please join the space, man. Let's come up. Let's have that conversation because I want to talk it through, like, because I'm really appreciating your point of view right now, because it allows us to have a deeper conversation into to kind of where you're at. So join the space tonight. You know, I'll tell you what caused that. I'll tell you what caused that. Needed more money. You know what? You know, they did need more money for development. Swipe and learn.
Yep.
There's no doubt about it. Like, we're not hiding that. They needed money for development of these particular products. So you're right. You're right on the money.
Yep. That was the whole point of selling those NFTs. I told folks if we sold the 5,002 keys, that would have given the project $3 million to work with. You know, do they have money? Yeah, but could it be better used if it came from the project? Yeah, it would have been way better. You know, so for that, and that's the thing. I've been a businessman for a while, Daniel, and I learned everything. I learned to read between the lines. I learned to understand the strategies and see what's behind every move, right? And I've said that from every day I got on the space. I told folks, if we can give the team $3 million, it will only help move this thing faster for us. But having said that, it's not a negative thing to reduce the liquidity because we're all here for one reason, that's to make money. And how are we going to make money if the chart just stays stable? Even if we're waiting for utilities to move the project like I was talking about, it would still move it slow and steady. And I rather what's going now because I can 10x or 100x way faster. So now we have more like a Shiba or a Satama, but except with utilities. And we need that.
Yeah. And you know, here's the thing. Projects set up the development of their particular product in different ways based on how their wallet structure is set up. And I'll guarantee you that the majority of projects that you're invested in have spent a lot more than $1 million out of their development wallet to develop your project. The only difference here is it wasn't set up that way. So now you're taking out of liquidity to get it there. But you still, at the end of the day, you still need the money to develop the product that you need to produce. And how do you do that and benefit the people at the same time? Well, you make sure that the wallets are covered from a liquidity standpoint, and then you lower your liquidity, give your chart a little bit more volume, so that people are able to, you know, see the volatility in the chart. And the proof is from last night. I keep telling you, we've seen more volume in a 12-hour period than we have in months in just a 12-hour period. So it's working.
Yep.
It's working.
And the more the chart moves, the more people are going to chase it. Terrarium took over $6 million from their investors out of that marketing wallet. I think they've reimbursed Dr. Praveen the money he put in this project and all that, and hurt the project versus the way this is being done. People need to understand that there's a difference between dumping on your community and strategizing and moving forward and giving us now what a lot of people have been asking for. There's so many people that used to talk a lot about MMAI. You don't hear them anymore. The reason you don't hear them is because they got bored. They got tired of waiting for price action. They wanted their money now. Now, those folks have that opportunity with the volatility that's going to happen, but it's still not being on the charts versus your holders buying and selling. With holders buying and selling, we get the volume, and you look forward to exchanges because with more than getting.
Dr. Rob, you keep getting into the blockchain. You're in and out. But XXI, like what you're gonna see now, and I understand that people are worried about the drop, right? They're worried about the price dropping. What you're gonna see is you're gonna see more of a correlation between ETH, right? So when ETH drops, you're gonna see MMAI drop even further. When ETH rises, you're gonna see MMAI rise even further. We're going to ride that ETH wave even closer right now than we ever have before. And also, what you're going to see is you're going to see these little buys and sells on the chart really moon the chart. Bring up any other lower market cap token, right? You see these big green candles, and it's not because there's huge buys in there. It's because somebody went in there and bought a ETH or 2 ETH. It's not huge, but all of a sudden your chart goes way up or way down. Yep. You're gonna see a 10x a whole hell of a lot quicker with this liquidity ratio than you would have had we kept the 2.3 million in liquidity. You may have not got to a 10x until the bull run because it takes so much to move that chart back and forth. So, you got to understand it. And Swipe to Learn, I hope you do come to the Twitter space tonight because I welcome that conversation. And that's not me calling you and telling you to be there. I'm just saying, like, I really appreciate your conversation. So I hope that you're there. Because
we need that.
I would love for you to come up and take the mic.
Yeah.
And we can have that conversation.
And that's a good point, Daniel. We do need folks to come up and take the mic because a lot of people, they hold it in and they don't either they don't get educated or they don't educate other people. This is a conversation that everybody needs because we need to spread the education around, whatever, even if it's a fake narrative, maybe we give you a point and correct it, and maybe you don't take the correction, but there might be other people who feel the same way, and we're able to say something that makes them see things differently. So these conversations are well.
Yeah, I mean, these conversations are well welcomed. And we'll do this tonight at 6:30, guys. We're gonna have this. We're gonna continue this conversation tonight at 6:30. Can we have that that AMA on TG? Can we have that AMA on TG tonight? We can't. I'm not sure if we can or not. But everybody can come up and ask the same questions. I mean, I was in the TG. Thank you, XXI, for letting me know. And I was there. I heard the questions. I heard what's going on. But Elmo, I'm not sure we can play that TG back. But people can come up and ask the same question.
Finn put it up on TG, Daniel.
Okay.
The recording.
All right. I'll listen to it tonight. I'll take down the questions. If nobody else comes up to the mic and asks the questions, I'll ask the questions that were asked in the TG. We'll talk about them. I say I'm going to ask the questions like I'm not hosting Space, Dr. Rob.
Yeah. You'll ask it to yourself.
Yeah, I'll ask it to myself. But we'll bring them up again because I mean, think about it. We're going to address everything that comes our way, and not all of it's going to be great either. But you know what? We're going to get ahead of it. And I, it is what it is.
Daniel, when you invest in crypto, you have to understand, follow the money. When big money gets scared, you get scared. When big money is stable, you remain stable. And if you look at this news and you watch our charts, and you don't see a bunch of dumping of people who believed in the project no longer believing on it, stay steady. If you see everybody dumping and running away, don't be an idiot and stay there and take $500 when you could have taken $5,000. You see what I mean? And that's basically what I can tell folks, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you see all the top wallets selling off, it's time for you to go. But if you see like a couple ETH sell here, a couple ETH sell there, and you get scared and you take your money out, crypto's probably not for you.
Or you'll be back later.
Crypto's probably not for you. You probably want to be in the stock market. So let me get this straight. Gave Ennis Labs 1 million. Yeah, we did. And then we're gonna give them another 2 million, right? So we gave Ennis Labs. So I got clarification on this. So we gave Ennis Labs $1 million to start, right? And then
Cognigo did.
Cognigo gave them $1 million to start. Cognigo is going to give them another $2 million today, right? And then the $1 million of ETH from the $1 million on the liquidity side of Ethereum. Understand the Ethereum, because you took 2 million out, so you got 1 million of MMAI and 1 million of Ethereum. The 1 million of Ethereum will be sold and given to Ennis Labs as another $1 million. So today, Ennis Labs will get $3 million, right? Which would give them a total of $4 million. That's how it works. Cognigo's in it for $3 million, and MMAI is in it for $1 million.
So yes, that has done that, Daniel. $4 million to build their utilities.
Yeah. Now I can't name one. So yeah, swipe and learn. You're right. There was $1 million. There is going to be $1 million that's coming out of the ETH side, right? And I encourage everybody, if you want to know what the devs are doing with the MMAI tokens that came out of the liquidity, go to the deployer wallet and watch that. If they move, come in here and question everything. If they move without telling us that they're moving them MMAI tokens, question that. Because they said they weren't selling them. We just don't see that. We just don't see that money swipe and learn, because you're right, you don't see that type of money being all the time in projects, because a lot of projects don't tell you that they're moving that much amount of money, and MMAI is only moving $1 million. Cognigo's moving the rest.
Like I said earlier, Daniel, Terrarium sold over $6 million from that marketing wallet.
Yeah. The only difference was they dumped it in Terrarium tokens.
Yep.
Which killed.
They have a native market wallet.
Yeah. Which killed the price. It killed the token.
Yep.
So that's why I'm telling you, like, if you watch the deployer wallet and MMAI starts to sell MMAI tokens, please ask the question, because I don't want to miss that either, because I want to ask the question. So if that happens, then ask the question, because they said they weren't selling it. But they are going to sell the ETH. You know, that ETH is probably already sold. They are going to sell the ETH. You know, which is okay, because it doesn't hurt the chart at all. It has zero effect on the chart. I mean, I have the chart right here. The $1 million of ETH sale has zero price impact on this price. So you got to understand that.
And Daniel, we're not here to make excuses for MMAI. I could care less about MMAI more than I care about my pocket. I'm gonna be on the same side of anybody who has a problem if my pockets are getting hurt, right? I'm here for my pockets. So we're not gonna be here kumbaya justify anything that doesn't seem legit. If anything doesn't seem legit, we're gonna come out and talk about it, because at the end of the day, I want to see results in my pocket. So as long as I'm still supporting it, I understand what's going on, and I trust what's going on, and I'm moving forward with what's going on. As soon as my pockets are not feeling right, then I'm gonna speak something different, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. Like I'm on here, and I tell you guys all the time. I tell everybody when I buy and when I sell everything. I bought into this and I sold this. If something doesn't look right to me and doesn't smell right to me, and I'm questioning things and I'm not getting the answers I want, I'll tell you I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why I'm out. I'll tell you. Now, what you do with your money is different, but I'm going to tell you why I'm in and why I'm out. And I'm on enough Twitter spaces and on here enough that if I'm going to question something, you're going to hear about it.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to tell you about it. You know, that's why I rock with RJ, Cool, and Chris, and Swipe, protective XXI Gaming, protective because, you know, I rock with RJ, Cool, and Chris, and I don't really know Swipe, but you know, he seems to have some good questions. But you know, I'm good. I'm good with him. You know, come on tonight. Let's continue to have this conversation, because you know I'm gonna wrap this up in a minute because I gotta get to work.
Yeah, you gotta go to work. Yeah.
But
One thing though, I want to jump in, Daniel, real quick. I mean, I'm fine with anybody asking questions, but there's a problem with being an emotional trader.
yeah,
If you've been in crypto and you've made money and you understand how this game works, you got to take emotions out of your trade. If you have emotions in your trade, you're going to lose money and you're going to be short-sighted. Okay, you got to wait to get all the info. Like whoever dumped the 25 ETH, did that person do it emotionally, or did they do it because they're a savvy trader and they understand that this project is not going anywhere? It's time for me to get the heck out, or they're eating all my money. Let me get out. You see what I mean? And that's what you're gonna find. You'll find some people are emotional traders, and they're in that same wallet. If you pay attention to that wallet, that same wallet gonna buy back in, and like, oh crap, this thing is legit. Oh, they actually did deliver on promises, and they're doing good, and they're gonna buy it back and probably lost 15%, if not more, depending on when they bought it. They bought at 10% tax and then 10% sell, they're going to lose more. So that's the key thing we expect. I can ride with anybody, but at least be a smart investor and not just make emotional decisions.
yeah. Emotional trading will leave you broke. In Swipe and Learn, I agree with you. There's a lot of betas out there, and the real test is when they come out of beta. There's no doubt about that. The real test is when they come out of beta and when they're out. Nobody's ever disputed that. And that's why I told you, that's why I just said to you, we have to get these products out. So, you know, nobody's running from that. So I just told you that. So, but yeah, the emotional traders they will leave you broke.
Yep.
The 25 ETH was RJ. If it was RJ, it was RJ. You know, if RJ wants to sell out and, you know, drop 25 ETH on the chart, it's his money. He can do that. And, you know, I'm not I'm not begging anybody to stay. If you want to drop 25 ETH, drop 25 ETH. But the bottom line is, if you're going to drop 25 ETH, the smart thing to do would be dropping 25 ETH in a smart way so you don't get slipped all the way down and then cry about getting slipped all the way down.
Yep, that's for sure. Watch the time, Daniel. That's for sure. And you do have to be smart with your money. And folks can sell and profit, but are you still taking pennies versus real money that you could have made, right?
Yeah. And I mean, people are going to drop 10, 15, 20 ETH on a sell. But, you can tell a smart trader versus somebody who doesn't know what they're doing when they drop, or somebody who's emotional. I shouldn't even say that they don't know what they're doing. They're emotional. When they're emotional, they'll drop 25 ETH all at one time, get slipped all the way down, lose a bunch of money, and then be pissed off that they lost a bunch of money because they didn't take it the way that they should.
Yeah.
And you can tell because anybody who sells 25 ETH on a chart for the first time and then they go back and they look at their wallet and they realize that they got slipped all the way down, they won't do that again.
Yeah, they're gonna learn.
I mean, and that's not only with MMAI, that's with any project. Like you gotta be smart. Like I can go over here to Volt, and if I dropped my whole bag of Volt right now, I would get slipped all the way down. And like I know better than that. So I don't know, but we're gonna continue this conversation at 6:30 tonight.
Hey Daniel, before you go, bro, I need to put it out there. Whoever's doing all this buying, they need to chill the hell out. they hurt my price target, man.
I'm sitting here. I keep watching this price go. It's steadily going. We're steadily starting to eat this little red candle up. It keeps starting to get shorter and shorter and shorter. And
man, Al Mo jumping there with the 2 ETH buy. Another 1 ETH buy. Well, we need to find Al's telephone and take that phone from Al, man.
Yeah, because I was like, man, this thing's gonna go to 2.9, and I'm gonna open up a new wallet at 2.9, and then somebody just keeps buying. But you know what? It's all good because if in March we're in for a really down market, I think. So ETH is gonna drop. So it's naturally.
Look at that, man. You got my Ultra up in here. Talking about he couldn't help himself. Almo talking about you ain't waiting for me, Almo. You been by. Hey, but Swipe, I really like Swipe's point though. I like if Swipe can come in tonight for real. Hey Daniel, do you have the link? Can you post the link for them for your space tonight?
I'll post it when we're done.
When you're done,
I don't have my phone up and I can't post it in StreamYard.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can go to my Twitter, or when this thing gets on YouTube and it actually gets up there, I'll post the Twitter link tonight and for tonight, and we can continue this conversation. Yeah, my ultimate is that he couldn't help himself. I mean, it's here, guys. We're gonna have the conversation. We're gonna talk about it. I want to hear all sides. I don't. I talk about it either way. You guys know how I feel about it. Let's hear how you guys feel about it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out where we go, right? And how we get there. Not thrilled about how it came out, but at the end of the day, this is what we got in front of our face, and we'll deal with it and make the best of it. It is what it is, guys. We're gonna make some money. That's what I do know. So you got anything else, Dr. Crypto, you want to say?
Nah, bro, I'm looking at the time. I don't know what time you got. It's 8:25. You need to get out of here, man. This is the longest you've been on, right?
Yeah. You hear my phone over here hollering at me. People are wondering where I'm at on this meeting. But all right, guys, I'll see you guys.
I look forward to tonight, brother.
Yeah, I'll see you guys at 6:30 tonight. Have a great day, and be positive today, guys. Be positive. It's Tuesday. All right, with that, I'm out. Everybody have a good one.